Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. First of all, EVE Online, it's probably been a bit less than average in EVE Online. It's basically been an incredibly busy week at my work. And even on Friday and Saturday, basically after my work, I couldn't do a lot anymore because I needed to crash down, get more sleep and recover a little bit. But I did keep up with the blueprint copy business. That is going decently well, although it's basically starting to fluctuate. That is something that I find very strange. On some days, like early in the week, I have some blueprint copies that see an enormous amount of competition and then they crash down from, let's say, 4 to 5 million down to less than 2 million. And then maybe a week later, when some of those guys get out of that blueprint copy specifically, I find it back at 4 million, 5 million, things like that. So the blueprint copy business, it's still going decently well, but it does take a little bit of micromanagement to try and get the most out of the sales at the moment. Next to that, I did a little bit of mining. I kept up with my PI as well, but other than really the mass test that I did join and recorded for you guys, I didn't get to do a lot of EVE Online playing. I'm hoping that I'll get more time next week, because on Tuesday, of course, we are getting the next patch where we should see the updated probe scanner window. So I will definitely try to do a little bit of exploration with that. And then there are some other nice little features to the March release. And after that, of course, full focus is going to be on FanFest. I'm really curious for that. Unfortunately, due to the same culprit, my job, I can't go to FanFest. Next up, we have a little bit of Overwatch, really not a lot, just a couple of quick play games, basically with my brain half off. They didn't go all that well, but I did start to notice a few changes, and one character that I knew the changes were either coming or have been deployed, and it turns out that they have been deployed, is the changes to Bastion, which I find very interesting. Basically, they made his gun in the mobile mode quite a bit better, and they gave him the ability to heal himself while he's running, which is really cool. It does make Bastion a hell of a lot stronger all of a sudden. Also probably a little bit more useful on offense, which at first it was almost never picked there. But with the new tank that is coming as well, Orisa, who also will have barriers, I think that there is going to be more room to play Bastion, because one of his roles, of course, is to be a tank buster. And in one of the games that I played him, it turns out that I really like him as well as a counter to Pharah, because she does have to expose herself by going high up in the sky. And with the rate of fire that Bastion has when he's deployed, I can usually take out the Pharah before she can get off 2 or 3 missiles, which is what she needs to destroy me. So to my surprise, I think my next few games I'm actually going to try to focus a little bit on Bastion, especially in offense, to see if I can find ways of making that work, because I find him to be a very fun character, a very nice one to play. But because he was so immobile, you could really only afford to take him in defense. Now with his ability to self-heal on the run, I do think that he's become quite a bit more versatile and interesting to try out. And for the final game, I still put a little bit of time in Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. I basically completed the campaign. I made a couple of extra videos on that as well, which will probably be uploaded after I finish Homeworld Deserts of Karak, that series. So that full playthrough is coming. I only have a few more missions left on that, and then I think I'll share a little bit of more of what I've done in Supreme Commander, trying to turtle my way to victory. It was definitely a pretty fun experience to once again grab that. I also feel, because I've already played Supreme Commander several times, that I don't need to play a lot more of that right now. Basically, I was looking for something else to do, something quick to do as well, during a week that I knew was going to, or 2 weeks basically, that I knew were going to be very busy at work. And Supreme Commander, you know, the games do take a long time, so I mean, we're talking several hours for every single mission, but you can afford to take your time. And from that perspective, I actually find this game to be decently relaxing. Not as relaxing as a Banished, let's say, but definitely much less intense than something like Skyrim, something like Overwatch or another MMO where I would always have to fight the urge to grind my way to better stuff and things like that. Yeah, Supreme Commander, just turtle, take your time, watch your enemy disintegrate due to your supreme range, and yeah, enjoy the game that way. I thought it was really a nice pick for me personally for those 2 weeks where I've been very busy at work. So there's a bit more of that coming. But I'm not planning to dive into multiplayer or anything like that. That is basically not the experience that I'm looking for at the moment. What I can share with you guys at the end of this video, for those that are still sticking around, are some of the things that I am looking forward to myself. Of course, you know, EVE Online, FanFest, all of that good stuff is coming, and I'm really curious about the roadmap there. But in some other games, I'm also curious to see what everything is going to bring. First of all, we have Diablo 3. So I learned that Season 10 is starting on March 31st. So I'm looking forward to at least doing one character in Season 10, as I always do. But there's of course also the Necromancer. We still don't really know, I think, when the Necromancer is coming, but Season 10 would be a great time to deploy him. So I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen or not, but a little bit of Diablo 3 is definitely up in the pipeline as well. Overwatch, of course, we have the new character Orisa, and then I'm looking forward to see how everything changes in the meta there. The Stellaris expansion is coming early April as well. It's looking really interesting, especially with something that is basically allowing you to have more of a hive mind type civilization or a spacefaring civilization. That sounds very interesting to me, and I'm probably just straight up going to buy the expansion when that comes out for Stellaris. Another thing is Quake Champions. Closed beta signups for that have started. I definitely signed up for that as well. I never played Quake itself, but yeah, I do look forward to trying the beta if I get the chance. And then finally, something that really struck me last week is the gameplay trailer for Mordor Shadow of War that came out. I am very impressed personally. The first game, you know, it seemed so good, but the focus was very much on your character, on you completing missions within hostile territory. Now, if they've taken the Nemesis system and they've added the ability to create and upgrade and really diversify an army of yourself that you can fight amongst, yeah, I'm game. It looks incredible, and I'm going to keep a very close eye on Shadow of War, and yeah, I think it looks absolutely amazing. And that's basically all I wanted to share with you guys for this Sunday recap. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.